Alright, hello and welcome everybody to a nice gameplay commentary where I'm going to show you guys the absolute best strategy for beginners and intermediate players that love to abuse cavalry. Now, I often recommend people to go with something like the Franks to just get like a smooth, solid, cavalry civilization in there. But recently, I've been thinking about, what is the best strategy to climb elo quickly for the beginners and intermediates, an easy game plan that's incredibly powerful, and it's actually the Lithuanians. And we're going to have a Lithuanian mirror match, which is actually kind of terrible for what I want to showcase, but it's going to be good enough anyways. It's just going to make things a little difficult, and I'll explain why. Alright, so the main plan is actually really simple. My Twitch chat here, because we're live streaming, was trying to guess the strategy that I was going to showcase today, as if it was some grand secret. It's really not anything secret for those that are like well versed with Age of Empires, but I still want to reinforce just how strong I believe the strategy is. And it's incredible at getting you a very powerful unit very early on, and also giving you a clear game plan. So if that's something you need, that you want a clear game plan, something powerful, something that wins you games, then this is the video for you. And the plan is simple. We're going to go for a lot of relic control into spamming knights. Alright, so very simple plan. The opening is very flexible. We can do whatever we want. And we're going to go ahead and spam knights and pick up the relics. Now, why relics with Lithuanians? Obviously, it's to get the extra attack. You get +1 attack per relic. The goal is to get 4 relics. It stacks up to 4 times. And then you can get the +4 attack. And let me tell you, knights with +4 attack in Castle Age are actually incredibly strong. Now, I will talk about some, small downsides for the strategy at pro level. At pro level, it's tough to get to mass knights because most players would use monks very effectively, and you'd be only playing into counter units. And also, they'd try to go cav archers to push you off those relics. So those are some of the struggles that you sometimes face. However, in beginner and intermediate levels, you don't really run into those same counters. You really just don't run into them, alright? And so your knights get extra value because your opponents are not as well versed with the monks and with the counters as, you might expect at the higher level. So all this to say that knight spam is incredibly effective at, most elos, and this is an effective strategy to climb elo all the way up until 2000 elo, I would say. Easy, without any kind of hiccups whatsoever. So I'm going to showcase this. This is in the pro level. I'm playing as Fire, who is also a pro player from Brazil. Probably the second best Brazil player that we have in the scene. Arguably first best, depending on how you see it, but I think nowadays the Gao is a little bit better. At least on paper, But yeah, we'll go with a flexible opening, and this is the cool part about the strategies. You can basically do whatever you want to open up the game. Now, ideally, you do knights, scouts into knights, which which is very smooth and kind of flows into each other, but you don't have to do that. In fact, most of the time, I find it difficult to get into knights if you open scouts, so sometimes I like to open with like a range or something instead. But it just depends on the map, so we'll see. I have to analyze it in a second and come up with the perfect game plan to get into knights. The main thing that you want to focus on here is you want to get to knights with a smooth and balanced game state. You don't want to get to knights and you are like super like defensive and things are already looking rough, because you can't just play knights. You also need map control for relics, right? That's the important thing. It's kind of a multi-faceted operation. A lot of times with like something like the Berbers, you get that nice discount. You can get to knights and it basically just saves your game. But with something like the Lithuanians, the knights at first are actually not that impressive. We need the relics to come in before they become really impressive. And potentially even oppressive as well on your opponent. Alright, so cool. I think we've just about decided the strategy. We could go for a loom skip here, actually. This is really interesting. I think it's completely fine to do this, but it's not recommendable for the beginners. So learn from the strategy, but not all the details here. You should definitely pick up loom if you're a beginner player. Alright. But yeah, I've recently did a couple rec reviews about the strategy as well, and I noticed that although the strategy is simple, in the rec reviews I was reviewing a 1200 elo player, or 1100 elo player, let's say, and he was very slow to pick up the relics. It's one of the main things that we talked about, is you can't just pick up the relics later. You got to pick them up as fast as possible to take advantage of the extra attack sooner rather than later, right? That makes a lot of sense. But picking up the relics early is a bit difficult, so I'm going to hopefully show you guys how to manage that and how to make that happen. Alright, we've seen my opponent's setup now, and I'm keeping a rather flexible early game. Now, I can either go for a stable and just go scouts, which is, like I said, the main game plan. Oh, you have to be a little cheeky on me there. No, we're not going to let you get the trap, man. Not that I'm recording a YouTube video. It's not going to happen. Or maybe it will. We'll see. The game's not over yet, you know? Alright. Yeah, we're kind of going to see what's going on here. I'm a bit scared that he might have faster Feudal, but no, we're good. I'll get Loom, and I got away with it. Cool. So I'm looking at the map here, and I'm thinking I can actually open with a range, but I think I'll just go stable just to show the simple opening that gets the job done. So we'll go stable, go into scouts, and I'll also need to pick up a house. We'll just slowly start walling up our base. Pretty standard scout rush, but again, I do want to say that you don't have to open scouts. It doesn't matter what you open, guys, alright? You can open Spear Skirm, you can open with some Militia, you can open with all kinds of things, it doesn't really matter. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually skip Horse Collar. And I'm going to do this for a very good reason, alright? We're not going to get this upgrade. It's because I want to get to a faster castlage, faster than my opponent. And I want to contest the relics and go all in for them. So this is a strategy where I'm not afraid to sell my stone. I'm not afraid to cheap up an eco upgrade. I will cut corners so I can get a faster castle time. Alright, he's also going stable. Cool. Alright, so I really want that faster castle time. It's very, very important to me. The only issue here is that stable versus stable usually ends up being a Cav Archer war in pro play. So, see if I can kind of stir this game away from Cav Archers as much as I possibly can. Let's send this scout forward here as well. Alright. Cool, he's got a spear. So maybe I can make one spear. Although actually, in the spirit of cutting corners, maybe I'll cut corners and skip that spear, but instead, I'm going to full wall early. So that way, my advantage here over my opponent is the fact that he made a spear and I didn't. I know it sounds like a small advantage, but that's the kind of thing that can get you a faster cast time by like 30 seconds, which is actually significant. So, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do a very mild early game here. Remember, your early game is just to set up the Knight's gameplay, alright? It's not to win the game. No one's trying to win the game here in Feudal Age. At least not on our team, alright? Maybe he wants to, but not me. I'm going to go ahead and make a market here, just to go ahead and sell stone and really play towards that faster castle time. And again, you don't have to do this, but it's just something that is recommendable. I have to go back here, and we're going to wall him in. So this looks like it's bad for me, but it's actually really good. And he realizes that it's actually good for me. He's trying to break out now. Because now he'll be trapped in there with me, and I just have to not lose a villager, which should be fine. I'm getting ready to fight with the villagers. We're going to let my scouts back in. Wall him back in. Excellent. Yeah, good. So there, the best thing he can do here is just trade against the villager. Or just try to fight my scouts. But running is not an option. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and just fight the scouts. I'm going to try to be a little cheeky here and keep that guy alive. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He'll try to retarget. We'll back up. Nice. So that's a clean up there. And that's my advantage here, is just to get the castlage faster. We can sell my stone here as well. All of these methods I'm showing you right now are just to get a faster castle age time. Alright, and that's key to picking up the relics, especially in a Lithuanian mirror match. But you don't have to do this, okay? You can play an honest-to-God Feudal Age. And then when you get the castle age, then you can just pick up relics at your own time, alright? But I'm kind of showing you what options you have to try to speed up the process. So now with some leftover scouts, I want to actually scout the map to find the relics, because relics are only good if you can know where they are, right? A relic that's not in your monastery is a relic that doesn't help us at all. So, gotta find the relics and then bring them into the monastery. It's a two-step process. Maybe one more build. And the uptime I'm gonna get is actually really quick. Don't try to replicate it entirely. Again, take this video as more of like a conceptual strategy, and you know, it'll look maybe slightly different in your games. And if I played 10 games of this strategy, each of them would look pretty different as well. So there's not like one style that fits all. This is just one, base strategy to get to knights with relics. And how you get there, there's plenty of games that get you there. All right, let's go ahead and click up here. So solid. Pretty fast click up. Actually, very fast click up. Quite happy with it, actually. Now we can pick up Horse Collar. And Horse Collar does apply to your existing farms to some extent. So it's a good upgrade to pick up. And I'm hoping I'm not going to stake my entire AoE career on it, but I'm hoping that I have the faster castle each time. And I think that I do, because he made 2 spears. He made 2 extra scouts compared to me. So he's got 3 there, and he made 2 earlier that died. So all things considered, I should be with the faster castle time. We'll pick up bloodlines here. And again, in pro play, just to be fully transparent, the meta here is to go for cav archers. And then pick up the relics like that. But just for sake of showing you guys the strategy with the knights, we're going to go ahead and commit to the knights. Now, I'm only going to be on 1 town center to start things off. Alright? And the knight spam initially will not be impressive at all, okay? It's not going to be an impressive spam knights from the get-go. The main starting point here is just picking up those relics. And just a few knights to get going, alright? So I'm going to stay even on 1 stable. We got horse collar in. Can't afford the gold mining upgrade probably. I mean, I can, but I'm low on wood, so I'm going to skip it. That's natural when you have a really fast castle time like this. Alright. And by the way, just like for transparency, I'm going to hit castle age around like 17 something. 17, 15, let's say. Most players at beginner level and intermediate level are hitting around like 20 to 22 minutes. Alright. So if you can get your time down to like, not even 17 minutes, but just like below 20 minutes, you can have a really good game. So first things first, we're going to go for a monastery right away. Couple knights to clear up those spears. And let's take a look at the relics. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I lucked out. We got like 4 relics really close to me, so... it's looking good, actually. Looking real good. I'll pick up armor. And bowsaw here. Now, why armor, not more attack? I'm of the philosophy, let's say. Very big word to be using for, you know, just gaming at the end of the day. But my thought process is that if I'm stacking attack with the relics, I shouldn't become a glass cannon and stack more attack with my upgrades. I should get a few armor upgrades so that my unit is very well rounded. A lot of attack, but also a good amount of armor. So that's kind of the way I see the game. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go right away with a monk. I'm going to come around here and clear up that spear. And then meanwhile, the scouts are really important. I got to keep the scouts alive, by the way. They are going to be chasing away my opponent's scouts. I'm going to get husbandry early to chase away his units. I'm setting up more and more of my farms because I'm planning to spam a bunch of knights. It's a bit risky to show him this monk, actually. That's why I'm bringing my scouts back. I'll escort this monk. Always make new monks. I was actually late on that second monk. I'll try to counterattack him a little bit here. Alright. Remember, every relic is an attack upgrade. And attack upgrades are worth a few hundred resources. So getting these relics in is no, you know, it's no small feat. It's really good, actually. Here he comes. Yeah, but we knew he was coming here, so we're ready for him. I see him with upgrades on his knights, or his cavalry, let's say. There we go. Good. Right away going for this one. Right away, we're going to go right back to the front. He's going to try to go with light cap to prevent me from taking those relics. Alright, so that's +1 attack. That's how you should be thinking of it. +1 attack, looking good. Also, Lithuanian monasteries work faster. Ah, but he's playing smart. Look at that. He's guarding the relics. It's very important for him as well. Lithuanian mirror match. He wants them too, but the funny thing is about the Lithuanian mirror match is whoever gets the relics is playing Lithuanians, and whoever doesn't is playing a generic knight Sith. You know what I mean? So let's see if we can pick up those relics and be fine with it. We're gonna get +2 armor now. Again, become that well-rounded, strong, tanky knight. So here I could actually buy back one of my stones, because it doesn't have to stay an all-in strategy. You can add in some economy at some point. And we're going to start adding in some stables, but I'm not going to be too keen on adding in tons of economy, because it is an aggressive strategy at the end of the day. I'm just going to try to make a play on this monk. See if I can defend it. Not quite, but he lost 3 light cap there. That's very worth it. Alright, I'm going to come out here. Gotta defend this guy. And then meanwhile, with the scout cav, gotta guard this next relic. There you go. Doing a pretty good job of picking up relics so far. That one maybe not the best play. Yeah. Ah, but we got one of his. Monk on monk action here. All right. So I'm going to start adding in some extra stables. You could also play Lightest, by the way. The unique units. It's up to you. Lightest are actually really overpowered. In melee combat, they are quite clearly overpowered. Much better than the Knights. But it's difficult to actually go for them still. All right, we're going to send some Knights to this Relic. I really want to get the +4 attack. It's definitely a point that I want to make here. We're going to add in some stables here. We're going to go crazy very soon. We can pick up the gold mining upgrade. We can also pick up Wheelbarrow here, if you guys don't mind, real quick. All right. Ooh, got a conversion on him. That's terrible for him. Got this Relic. And now this is the last Relic in there. So, very cool, guys. We're going to have 4 Relics. And now, in my recommendation is as soon as you have 4 Relics, you got to put the foot on the gas, okay? So, less economy now, more stable spam, more Knight spam, okay? So, let's get in a bunch of houses here. He's going to be on Pikes. I honestly don't think that matters. I think that the +6 Knights, if I get full upgrades, will beat the Pikemen, especially if I have a few Monks. I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty confident, let's say, that I think it's at least worth trying. So we're going to just go Knights and brute force through the Pikes. Despite the Pikes regularly being a counter to Cavalry, I think in this case, because of how strong our Cavalry will be, that I'm happy playing Cavalry into them, okay? So let's see if I can break the notorious Pikemen, the Cavalry counter, that gives people a lot of trouble, actually, on the rank ladder as well. So now, we got the Monks. 4th Relic coming in. Few Monks will heal my Knights as well. I'm going to spam more Knights. No more economy. Oh, that one is close, but I think we'll get it. Yeah, there we go. Just real quick, just drop that off. Yeah, there we go. And once those light cav go down, my life becomes a lot easier. Alright, let's move forward now. So now less economy and more foot on the gas. Although that being said, we can do one more town center. Just one more. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anybody. Let's attack the main area. I think we can just fight it. Honestly, I think we can just fight it. I'm going to patrol into him. I hope it's going to be good. I'm not sure. It's very good. It's not just good. It's very good. You see this? You see how strong these Knights are? It's 10+5. I don't even have the last upgrade, but it's still so strong. We can add in more Monks as well to support these Knights, but it's just so strong. Now you just go crazy. You break through all armies, basically. Nothing can really hold you. Keep macroing behind it. And these are pikemen. These are, in fact, Lithuanian pikemen that move faster, which makes them fight better, actually, in fights. Even that doesn't help. We're going to get the last attack upgrade here. And because I'm so strong, I have so much extra attack, you can kill buildings. They're like rams. And what I love about the strategy is that it's such a well-rounded unit that you get. Very strong, super tanky, mobile. And it beats the counters that people usually tend to make. There's basically no downside to it. Look at that barracks going down so quickly. And at this point, he's actually scared to engage into another fight with me. Which is hilarious, because he should be the guy who wants to fight. Not me. He's doing a great job picking up my Monks, by the way. Must be said, must be said. I don't think I'll wait for Monks then, in that case. I think I'd rather just go for it. Hopefully it doesn't have that many Pikes. We'll engage. This one's a bit rough, though, a bit sketchy. We'll see if this is going to work. I'm up against Knights and Monks, though. Maybe I bit off more than I can chew there. I bit off more than I can chew. And the Pikes that deep, not the best play to fight them. So let's go back and use a more mobile strategy here. Alright. It's brute force, but it's not brain dead, you know. You can't face roll it. Have to think a little bit, you know. Because we can fight the counter, but only when it suits us, not when it doesn't suit us. Alright, keep macroing. At the end of the day, the Knights are still a way better unit than the Pikemen, though. Because I can have that mobility advantage as well. There we go. Keep making the Knights. Remember, the Knight is still costing the same as a regular Knight. Those Monks are actually really scary. Devotion could be a good upgrade. Keep running. Use that mobility advantage. Beautiful. Look at that. When it's a good fight for the Knight, that's really good. You can beat the pikes. You just have to make sure it's a good fight before you take it. And now we can scale towards Leidos ourselves. I could even go for a forward castle myself here, not let him get this up. Is it possible? No. That was a bad fight. That was a bad fight. We'll go probably... I think there's a bit too many pikes now. I need the monks for sure. He might be playing towards the lightest now, which I'll make the switch anyway, so not to worry. All right, there we go. He's got a lot of pikemen here. My lightest will always be stronger as well. On the hill, it's so tempting to patrol. I think it might actually work. Oh my goodness, on the hill was crazy. That was disgusting. That was really disgusting. It's just all about taking the right fight, really. What it comes down to. We can add in some more economy as well here, because we're killing a bunch of his villagers. And dude, honestly, we can go for this cat. We can so go for this castle. We can so go for this castle. Dive the monk. I don't even care. Go for him. Go for him. There we go. We can so go for this castle. And the game is over. GG. It's absolutely incredible, guys. Can we get a GG in the chat? Knights are beating pikemen and monks, guys. This is like the worst case scenario for my knights. Literally, like, this is not a good showing of how powerful the strategy is, because this is under the worst circumstances. I'm forcing the strategy. It's a mirror match. My opponent has equal options compared to me. My opponent is making both counters, knights and monks. Sorry, pikes and monks. And he's also doing a great job of sniping my monks with his light cap. So he's got like a triple counter setup going on. But with the knights, I'm just brute forcing my way through, because I have such insane stats. I mean, take a look at this. It's 10 plus 6. You got so much armor as well. Like a normal knight, it's very tanky. It's very mobile. And this way, you have a clear plan. And so I highly, highly recommend this. I'm speaking so passionately because I think it's a great strategy for you guys to use to climb elo. Especially for beginners that are confused as to what to do, this is the perfect opportunity to try something that has a clear goal in mind. You take the relics, or you go for a faster castle, a stable feudal age, faster castle age. You take the relics, and then you just start spamming knights. And again, if your opponent gets camels, if your opponent gets pikes, most of the time you can brute force your way in. But don't be brain dead about it, all right? If it's excessive, if you got like 30 pikes, 5 monks, or like a bunch of camels, that you could always tech switch. You can always switch into something else, like, you know, crossbows, cav archers, skirmishers, especially with Lithuanians, are very good. You have options. You can switch into your own pikes, for example. You have options, all right? So don't be brain dead, all right? But recognize how powerful your knight is and take advantage of him and be a brute, all right? Go in there and really scrap your opponent. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Again, sorry it was a mirror match, but I think it really showcased, nonetheless, how strong the strategy is. And I highly recommend you guys try it out in the ranked ladder. Hopefully this helps, and let me know what kind of success you guys find with the strategy. And if you guys found it cool, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Patreon for more guides and tips to play better. You can get a much higher elo if you go to the Patreon and watch the guides there. This is only scratching the surface what I show on YouTube. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace. Oh yeah, nice bye YouTube there in the chat. That's awesome. Bye YouTube.